Hi everyone, my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in today's video I want to talk about a question that comes up again and again. And that is whether hyaluronic acid should be applied before or after vitamin C. And I think this question keeps coming up because there's a lot of confusion about what these two ingredients actually do on the skin. Now, one of the reasons this question causes so much confusion is because hyaluronic acid is often talked about as if it needs water from the skin to work properly. And that's where ideas like damp skin, misting, or very specific timing come from. But a hyaluronic acid product is not a dry ingredient sitting on the skin waiting to pull in moisture. A toner, essence, or serum with hyaluronic acid is already a water-based gel, so the water it needs is already there. So when you apply to the skin, you are not adding something that needs water. You're applying a thin layer of water that's already being held in place. What that mainly affects is how the skin feels, how products spread, and how comfortable the skin is on the surface. But it doesn't change how much water the skin itself contains, and it doesn't control how other ingredients work. So ideas like dry skin sucking in moisture or hyaluronic acid needing to be applied at a very specific moment come from the assumption that hyaluronic acid needs water from the skin to work. And once you start from that assumption, the timing suddenly feels very important, even though it actually isn't. Now, vitamin C works a bit differently, but it leads to a very similar kind of confusion. Vitamin C works based on its formulation, and especially with low pH vitamin C formulas, they are usually designed to be applied to clean skin. But it has more to do with how the formula is made than with other products blocking or activating it. So if you apply a thin layer of hyaluronic acid before or after vitamin C, that doesn't change how vitamin C works in the skin in any way that affects results. Because skin isn't an empty surface that suddenly gets blocked by a light layer of product. Products don't sit on the skin like sheets on top of each other. They spread, they settle, and they interact with the skin surface at the same time. And vitamin C isn't something that needs to be sealed in by another layer, because it doesn't work by being trapped in the skin. Instead, it works based on its own formulation and how it interacts with the skin surface when it's applied. So when you ask whether hyaluronic acid should go before or after vitamin C, the honest answer is that it doesn't really matter in a biological or biochemical sense. There isn't a better order and there isn't a wrong one. But where order can matter is comfort and tolerance. And that's usually for very practical reasons. Some products sting more when they are applied first. Some formulas don't spread well on top of each other. Or they start to pill depending on the order. But that's about how the products behave together and how the skin feels, not about making the ingredients work or not work. And this is also where misting usually comes into the conversation. You don't need to mist between these steps for hyaluronic acid or vitamin C to work. Misting only really makes sense if the skin has become fully dry, tight, or uncomfortable between steps. In that case, you're not activating anything. You're just helping the skin to feel comfortable again. But if you're layering your products within a few minutes of cleansing, misting isn't really necessary. And it can sometimes just add more water than the formulas were designed to handle, which can make products slip, dilute, or pill on the skin. And I hope that this helped clarify the question. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!